Hello and welcome to this episode of Tomb of Annihilation. My name is John Godebert and I am Final Boss Fights GM for this campaign. After a stunning announcement from a future daughter, the rest of the group continue to work out what they're going to do with the swirling void room. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children in the audience, and anybody in between, on November the 24th,
oh my god!
we are doing an 8-hour live stream of D&D.
Next generation!
And I've not told anybody who their characters are until now.
Except me.
Except for Sammy.
Was the only one aware of this.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Dungeons and Dragons: The Next Generation. As we
So by the way, after the ghost, actually disappeared, Philip actually by saying, "Wait, did someone ask who the dad was?"
I think we had too many questions and none of us really had the mental capacity to ask them.
I was holding a rope.
He's like, drops it.
I'm making sure I don't drop this rope in shock of Seraphine's daughter appearing for us.
So if any of y'all are looking at Seraphine, which I assume all of you are.
Yeah, I'm looking over shoulder, holding rope, like, what the fuck?
I mean, Philip kind of froze, bodily speaking.
You guys just, you see her kind of like, she falls to her knees and she just starts crying.
Maddie,
Oh, Romad gonna go and hug Seraphine.
you recognized a couple of things about the child.
Oh, really? What could that be?
Chestnut eyes,
Mm-hmm.
her smile. You recognize where she got those from.
Mm-hmm.
Link.
And she is, if she's crying in happiness. Not that any of you guys probably realize that yet, but she's just crying on her knees right now.
Torin just said, well, at least we know you survive.
Oh, do we?
Theodas just goes like, hold on. Theodas, but not me. What the hell?
It's a common name.
Is it a common name?
I don't know. I've never met another Theodas.
Well, I didn't met the Philip either.
Anyway, quickly, I'll go back to the announcement and then we'll come back to the game. On the 24th of November, it is a Sunday, we are going to do an 8-hour charity live stream of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm going to be joined by Maddie for some of the time, Tanny for some of the time, Sammy, Sean, and hopefully Amy, and they will all be playing the children of their characters, and that is why I very specifically picked those players and requested their presence in the game, because I've been planning this for a while.
So
Holy shit.
I'm playing Nisha? Or is she playing Nisha?
Oh shit, I could have played Nimgar.
So no, I'm pinpointing something, John, just for future reference later. Yeah. I forgot about like Romad's kids as well.
Yeah, I can't have everybody's kids.
I know, but that had to remind.
I might have references to them.
Also, given Romad sexuality, it might be tricky, or you go the adopted way, like,
They're he would mostly adopt. I've already plans for Arik and Romad. The more cheesier.
You will be playing Nisha, Sean,
I will be playing Nisha.
and
Like I'm playing theatre.
Amy will be playing Esk. Maddie will be playing currently unnamed Seraphine child.
Unnamed Maddie.
Her name's Maddie. How'd that work?
Oh no, I have to think about what her
you can
name
name her
is, but
Talisa or
I'm
something like that.
I would
Oh,
like
love
to.
that name, Alyssa.
I would like to point out, Maddie, that the current name I have on her character sheet, because I have character sheets for all of them at the moment, is Fiddle.
Yeah, but that might be too object of a
That's
name.
wrong. How about Alyssa? That's a nice name.
No,
Let
wait, we can use
her
people.
decide on her own.
Yeah,
Oh,
might as well.
I
This
am
is
going
this
to
is Maddie's kid
have
after
so
all.
much
That left them
time in
random.
my
It is Maddie's creation, so Maddie gets the choice.
Technically, it's
Yeah.
Seraphine and Simon's creation. But
Yes,
hey.
both Seraphine and Simon are both your creation, meaning that this one is also your creation.
And
This is your
oh,
Bible.
by the way, I noticed you tend to give a name with an S to your characters, Seraphine and Simon.
She's gonna have a name that
Riviera,
starts with R.
Lita.
No, but I'm
This-
talking on
this family
in this continuum.
line.
Yes, this bloodline. Unless Riviera is Seraphine descendant, which would be actually a major twist.
Anyway, stay tuned. November the 24th. Current plan is that we're going to be starting at about 2 in the afternoon, going till 10 at night. Charity live stream in support of cancer research. Any donations made on the day will go towards the charity. At certain points, we will have markers that mean that fun effects happen to the characters because you donated enough. Stay tuned for the adventure that I am calling After the Fall.
It sounds so dismal.
Yeah,
It
you
really
have,
That
is.
music in the background.
It
Honestly.
really, really is.
You have no idea.
I've-
Um,
I have been really enjoying getting to play with this upcoming setting, so
Oh boy.
you guys are going to have some fun. Anyway, back to the game currently in progress and completely sidetracked by that.
Who knew
Jesus.
this could sidetrack stuff?
Jesus on a boat. Okay, well, so like I was saying, surfing, on knees, crying. Y'all don't know if it's happy or sad.
Oh, by the way,
Proceed.
actually, thank you, Maddie, for actually putting in the description of the story that he had chestnut eyes, because that was important.
That was eons ago, but you're welcome.
It would have been a nice
No,
joke
I
that
got your TNS. I mean, Kane's TNS.
it would have been a nice joke that one of the character named their son, one of the main character named their son Jesus, so that then you got literally got Jesus that appears and says, "Daddy."
Okay.
So Renala's crouching down with Seraphine.
Romad is gonna like. hug
I
her as
just
well.
want to quickly pass a message on to you, John. That apparently you are a bitch ass motherfucker.
I'm assuming this is.
Hi,
like
Amy.
You peed on my wife.
I know I should have told her earlier.
You
I
know
have been-
how
I
it
have
is
been-
with
I have
secrets
been-
and Amy.
I have,
Yeah.
as usual, been ordered to keep her appraised of everything that happens.
I was so tempted to let her know this afternoon and tell her to keep it a secret so that I could get the surprise for her. But
By all means, I haven't actually gotten to. I've not actually told her the other names that were mentioned, but
I think
she
it's
got
all
confused
just
by
three.
Seraphine's daughter.
Reardon is not happy that there was not a
Yeah.
Reardon Jr.
Yeah, I got confused by that too.
I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be fun.
I am all kinds of emotions right now.
I'm in a glass case of emotions.
Ah,
Oh Jesus Christ. Okay.
Meanwhile, Riordan is like, so.
I didn't notice any
Future.
note mentioned from my name, but never mind.
Well, given how suicidal you have been behaving up until now, it's not that surprising.
Hey,
She
hey,
didn't go through. She didn't go through all the people.
you say that, but Theodas technically hasn't been mentioned to have a kid. His wife is present, meaning they could both be dead before the end of the thing. It's not a good news for him.
oh, and also thank you for this very diverse group of people. I would like to point out that nearly everybody when I've made the characters, one, I've had a lot of very interesting crossbreeds of characters to try and work out. That's why she's 4.5 foot tall. I had to look up half gnome.
Mhm.
I found the
So-
rules for playing a half gnome.
So
Wow.
you actually had to explore the rules in case the father is an orc, but the mother is an halfling.
I've found the rules for playing a half orc, half elf.
Oh my
shit.
god. I want
Uh,
to know what that would look like.
So
I'm
that's
assuming
that's what Theodas is.
That actually depends on the breed of the hawk and the breed of the elf.
And then the other problem I had is that most of the people that have children pass on noble noble background.
Why? Oh, everyone is a noble in this party?
Suddenly
No.
everyone's gone famous.
Almost.
A lot of the people that have
The
children,
ones which procreate.
or like one of the parents or the other is noble, and then
Yeah,
that would
Kaelin
pass on
is
to
noble.
Well,
So-
now I'm feeling set aside for being a criminal background.
Kaelin is, Sybil is, Luz is.
Hmm.
It's a lot of people with fancy names procreate and made us the next generation of very noble adventurers.
Oh, that's cute. But anyways, back to the game.
My
Jesus,
question is, how
this is sidetracked us so much.
My question is,
You might
how
have just stop. You've been sidetracked so much.
how old is Seraphine's daughter? How old would you say she was in that picture?
Yeah, how old is she?
Because this is something I need to know. I need to know this.
I have that listed somewhere in my notes because I made notes.
But anyways, so Seraphine's crying, and then she kind of like lifts her head up, and she's got a smile on her face, and she's like, I recognize those eyes and smile anywhere. Oh,
Seraphine.
guys, Simon is alive.
He smiles to that, and we'll keep you alive. And once we get out of here, we can help find it for you.
That will be left to Theodas.
Theodas will kind of feed information on what the fuck is going on to Philip, because Philip has no idea what's going on.
Well, actually, yeah.
I mean, he saw the ghost daughter, but besides that, it's like, I mean, I'm not even sure if he actually realized that Seraphine is actually an halfling, and he could be wondering, can she have kids in her current state?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the size and the childlike appearance.
Maddie, did you get my message on Discord?
Yes, I did. But also then Seraphine like jumps up halfway, and she's just like, he's alive. We're gonna have a daughter. Oh my god.
Deep breaths. Jeez.
Guys, I have found inspiration. We need to get through this tomb right now. We need to get this done. Let's move forward. Let's go.
More specifically, you need to survive, otherwise some very strange wibbly-bobbly timey stuff's gonna happen. So...
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
Let's go.
Please don't try and mess with the space-time continuum. I'll have to come up with so many house rules.
Well, John, boy, do I have
Raiden now
something to
jumps
tell
into
ya.
the vortex.
No, you don't. A giant hand reaches out of the upper vortex and just places you back on the...
Giant hand
And
comes
slap
back,
you.
takes you, and slaps your butt twice. Bad Raiden.
Bad reason.
Anyway, Tammy,
Oh,
Theodas,
that's a
Philippe,
dick, isn't it?
Mhm.
you are over here.
Yes.
Mhm.
What would you like to do?
I think Romad is gonna go through Tammy's eyes, and she's like, "Should I go in and check it out?" So she's asking Theodas and Lily.
Go invisible, go in, check out, come back, tell us.
Nods, and then she goes in.
Theodas draws a arrow ready to be used and points to Philip to get cover here in case anything comes out of the corridor to ambush it.
Other than Tammy, of course.
Philip will go
Okay, so she's
there,
invisible
and
and
I
she's
will,
okay, sorry.
and I will use a stealth check to actually
I say stay here.
No, I mean I'm putting myself in ambush, but I'm trying to go discreetly to actually mend the shadow.
It seems to be like a very thin tunnel. Anyways, is that actual like?
It
that
is a tunnel.
there, is it like? Is it able to fit?
It's
person?
not very wide, but a person could squeeze through it.
Okay,
I'm not trying to hide from you at this point.
Theodas, you can just sort of see down the tunnel a little bit of glinting metal in the distance. Tammy, as you enter the room, this chamber contains a bronze apparatus centered on a hinged arm. Slowly rotating within the arm is a 10-foot diameter globe decorated by a topographic map of landforms and oceans. Concentric rings of brass constrain the device, all rotating and bearing their own lesser spheres. One of the spheres has sharp points and appears sun-like. Carvings of tall, headless humanoids decorate the walls of the room.
Huh. So Tammy's got to go back out. I don't think I can sense magic from Tammy. Can I? To Tammy?
I think you can cast spells through your familiar.
Can I cast Eldritch Sight then to see if I can feel like any kind
I
of
don't know
magic?
if you can do the invocations though.
I don't think I can do Invocation Eldritch Sight, but I don't have
I mean,
anything.
if you've got Detect Magic, you can cast it through her, but I don't
But
think
no.
invocations, because otherwise that's way overpowered.
Yeah, you got a point actually. Yeah, I highly doubt anything to do. Hang on, it's the eyes of the voice of. You can make 10 pack. Additionally, while perceiving through your familiar sense, you can only speak through your familiar of your own, even if you're fully. Yeah, it seems like it doesn't say anything else, so she's just gonna look around and then she's gonna come back and explain what she's seen. But she doesn't see any kind of enemies or anything like that. It just seems to be quite a quiet room.
Actually, Tanny, could you make me a perception check while you were there?
A perception check?
Yeah.
Okay, is that through Tammy?
Well, it would be your perception check anyway, because you're looking through her
I'm not
eyes.
there.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
don't
not
see
there.
anything.
So far, I don't see anything.
And I signal Philippe to go in, still stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
And I will attempt to stealth. Nah, not too bad.
It's alright.
So those are.
So you can see a bronze apparatus centered on a hinged arm. Slowly rotating within the arm is a 10-foot diameter globe decorated by a topographic map of landforms and oceans. Concentric rings of brass constrain the device, and all are rotating, bearing their own lesser spheres. One of the spheres has sharp points and appears to be like a sun. Carvings of tall, headless humanoids decorate the walls of this room. And as you enter the room, the apparatus suddenly swings around, its rings rotating out of the way as the surface of the globe peels back to reveal a dark, hollow interior. Inside this cavity is a padded bronze chair with levers built into the armrests.
I am not liking this. Does it look in any way sort of magical or just mechanical?
From what you can see, it looks to be mechanical. Nothing has moved in a way that's unnatural. It's all very
Logical, kind of.
logical. It's like there's no disappearing bits. There's no bits that fold in a weird way that would suggest extra-dimensional space being used. It all just kind of folds and moves along a set path. You don't sense any traps.
Okay. No traps that I can see. And let's investigate this. Belief.
Yep, I agree.
Let's investigate.
I can try investigating, but that's not my forte.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not massively good into that. Oh dear.
There's a chair, but I'm not an expert in
Yep.
chairs.
Do you want
I'll
to do an
try and do
investigation?
Might
I
be
shall
our
do
only hope.
investigation through Romad. Please work. No, can't. Sorry.
Oh dear.
So Philippe and
try-
Romad, there's a chair.
What if I could try and do this through?
You know what a chair is.
Mm.
Theodas, you work out that the spheres represent the planets in the solar system, and that the main sphere is Toril itself, the world you live on.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is astronomical.
And you can also see sort of on the surface of the planet, you can now, as you're looking at it, you pick out the land positions of the Sword's coast. You can see Chult, you can see Evermeet. You've seen maps, you know where they lay. This is a globe.
Oh.
I'm wondering what we must do with this. There must be a purpose to it. Maybe it controls that thing here. What do you feel we should do, Philippe? Do you think we should try to see how the chair works?
It seemed like nothing seems to be up here.
I don't really see a trap at the moment. I tried perception to see if I see anything suspicious on it, but perception.
I've already searched for traps. I didn't see anything.
You don't see anything suspicious looking.
I guess we can try to see if there are any secret or puzzle with this thing. Up until now, everything led to some sort of puzzle.
Yes, Danny?
I'm just she's patting her face, tapping your face like there.
He studies the mechanic of it to see if he can see anything that could help him understand how it works or what it do.
The chair and the space within the sphere have enough room for one person to sit down within.
The big, small, medium.
It would only fit one person. Or maybe one person and Tammy.
I can try. I mean, I'm the most resilient of us both at this point. So even if there is some trick, I can take it out. So Philip will see if he can get in.
Fuck. What's this thing?
Does Philippe sit in the chair?
I think it would, yes.
Theodas would ask him to wait a bit first.
The second he sits down in the chair, the sphere seals shut.
So much for asking him to wait.
All of the apparatus just kind of clunks back into place again. Philippe, from the inside, you can look out through the sphere as if it was made of glass.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the other smaller spheres around the big sphere of Toril. And you can see Theodas and Tammy.
Is he okay?
So are the...
There is a lever at the end of each armrest. and you can just see Theodas. You there?
Philip will knock back from the inside.
Tong tong tong.
Right, this is live. Do you need help? If not, just knock twice. If you do, knock once.
At the moment, can I hear him?
It's a bit muffled, but you can make out what he's saying.
So at this point, I don't think I need help for now, so I will knock twice.
Tung tung.
Okay then, keep us updated.
So he will Philip will examine the inside, and I have a question. So how does the other spheres look from where I am?
So you can see one of the spheres is spiky and is representative of the sun. One of them that is a sort of grey, silvery colour that you can pick out to be Saloon, the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick out a number of other spheres that would be representative of the other planets in the in realm space. You can see the twin planet of Aber and all of the others. Obviously, Philippe probably doesn't know what all the planets are called. At the moment, while you are just sat here, they aren't moving. They're just sort of locked in position. And you've got a lever at the end of each of the armrests.
I didn't hear the
You
end.
got a lever.
Lever.
in each arm.
A lever on your left and a lever on your right.
Those are the only thing I have in the sphere.
Yes. And a quite comfortable chair.
Yeah, not sure that could help me figure out what it is.
Can I try to figure out if the planets are misplaced? Are they in the right order?
Give me an intelligence check.
Yep. No, I can't.
Far as you know, they may be.
So Philip will say from the inside, loud enough to reassure us. Step back into the tunnel. I'm going to try something.
What?
I said. You say it louder until Theodas understands the message.
After 10 minutes? Okay. Come on, Danny.
Hold on 5 minutes. You want to fry something?
There's a furnace in there.
So Philip will then pull the lever to his right.
With
I'm
a
gonna go all the way there just in case.
with a shuddering, you can hear the gears start to move, and all of the planets and celestial spheres start rotating around to the right. And it looks as if all of
coughs.
it coughs. All of the spheres, the sun, the moon, the planets, all start to move at different speeds. They look to be about the same. Like they look to be moving about the speed you'd anticipate them to, if this was a celestial map. They're all going round to the right. And if you keep the switch going, in a couple of minutes, all of the planets will line up. So Theodas,
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can
Yes,
hear you now.
I was saying I would like to see what happens if I bring back the right lever to normal and push a bit to the left lever to see if I move to the left.
The planets shudder to a halt and then start to rotate round to the left.
If I push the right lever just the same amount as the left, do the movements cancel each other?
The levers stop each other from being, like, one will not be pushed forward while the other one's active.
Okay, I see.
But now the planets are moving round to the left, and you think
Okay, I will put
4 or 5 minutes, the planets will all line up.
You die.
Maybe I can let it go until it line up.
And Tammy and Theodas, you can see the planets are now slowly rotating round to the left.
What you cutting out?
You can see now that the planets that had been moving to the right have juddered to a halt and are now moving back round to the left.
Huh.
And you can now see that in about 3 minutes, the planets are all going to line up. Like the timings of the planets' orbits will mean that they will line up.
Sound bad.
Just waves Tammy to come back in case we don't know. Big kaboom happens if that's
She's gonna fly out and wait over here. Hello.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I feel bad to like leave him out there. Are you sure you want to leave him out there? In there, you know?
Well, we can't open the thing yet, so there's not much we can do. Just brace and be ready in case something bad happens.
1 minute.
And I'm even gonna tell Tammy to actually go here so she gets cover from.
30 seconds.
We're gonna die.
And the planets all line up in a straight line. And there is a Philippe, could you roll me a D100?
Oh.
I should have mentioned I know what this is as well.
Sean, honestly, I know you know everything.
yeah. I don't remember most of it, but this I took special mention to remember.
69. Oh god.
No,
Oh,
that's a number.
That's a good number.
I wonder what happened to what happens if you leave.
Theodas,
Yes.
there is a pulse that reaches out just to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank fuck.
And you feel fine.
Okay.
Oh, god. Wait, Theodas feels fine or Philippe feels fine?
Every creature within 20 feet of the armillary sphere regains 50 hit points. Creatures inside the globe do not gain this benefit.
Someone tells me that.
Oh, damn.
Well, it would have been temporary hit points, wouldn't it?
Nope, that regains hit points.
Okay,
sounds
that
like
would be healing. That
I
would
feel
be
even
healing.
better than usual.
But the planets grind to a halt, and there's just a as the sphere itself locks shut.
So what now?
Oh. No.
I come back to look at the sphere. It didn't open yet. Knocked on the sphere. Still there?
Tung, tung.
Knocks on.
So he will knock. I mean, at the moment, Philippe is not actually trying to get that at the moment because it just happened to stop at the moment. So he will knock to say that he's still in there. He will move the right lever to see if he can move back to the right.
You pull the right lever, and it just comes off in your hand.
What?
Shite.
You can just hear the gears just grinding against each other. The mechanism is broken.
Tidas
question.
knocks again. Tidas knocks again. Are you alright? Do you need help? Can you get out?
Maybe we should try and pry it open.
I'm going to try something. Forgetting out, but I might need help later. So Philip will actually use the lever he got in hand to see if he can actually insert it between the plates of the sphere to actually see if he can jam it in and then use it as a lever to open up.
Okay,
Kind
give
of like
me
pry it open.
give me an athletics check with advantage.
Okay, advantage athletics 17.
You jam the lever in, and then you start to move it, and you can see the doors starting to pry apart, and then the lever just and snaps in half, and half of the lever just goes tink 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 outside, and half of the lever just stays in your hand, and the door just shudders a little bit closed.
So the doors are still closed.
The door is still closed.
Okay. I might need help.
Tidas just goes like, oh, for fuck's sake, what's going on?
The door is stuck, and the lever I used to turn is staying in my hand.
Oh, shit. Where's the door?
You saw the part that moved?
No, did I?
It would have been round here.
Round.
It would have been round here.
Okay. So, probably not.
But Tammy would have seen, I guess.
Yeah.
I think.
Tammy would have seen him trying to pry his way open.
This isn't good.
Hey, listen!
Hey, listen! I don't think it's doing good. I pry this off, right?
Yeah, sure. I can probably pry this off.
Give it
Careful,
a go.
the lever got cut in half.
Can I find any like side I could, try and grip to open the thing up?
The doors have slightly bent where Philippe jammed the lever in, so you've got a bit of a handhold. You can make me an athletics check.
Can I do strength?
Strength comes off of athletics, so it's basically the same.
Yeah.
You and you just tear the door open.
Nice.
No, just go like, woo! I like this god sometimes.
So Philip will actually nimble his way out of the opening. Thank you.
I look at the inside with the broken lever and everything. What the fuck did you do?
There's just sparks
I
pouring
did
out.
nothing. I tried pushing the right lever. I did it before, and for some reason it broke in my hand. I think this thing is a bit too old.
Theodas just looks at Philippe like, you're a fucking... you're a wrecking ball sometimes. Theodas comes back out. Alright, it's alright. Everything's fine.
Yay! And
Move
yeah,
along,
it'll be
nothing to
perfectly
see.
fine.
So we going over then?
Nothing to see here.
You can
Tammy
just
just runs over anyway.
you can
Uh,
just
Philippe-
hear in the distance this boom, boom, boom of machinery breaking in the.
Also, Philip still got the half lever in his hand.
Philip,
s-
what's that in your hand? He's like, nothing. Throws it into the pit.
Well, it used to be part of some machine, but now it's not really useful, so I guess I can give it back in a way, and it throws it into the vortex below.
Oh my god, you just punned. You punned. Oh, Carver's name.
Yeah, you would have heard the loud grinding of metal as Theodas ripped the door off the hinges.
Yeah, but look
Yeah,
what
that's
you
probably
put in.
fine.
Yeah, I
that
see.
You could have heard the car boom of
No, the
Oh my
kaboom.
god. Kaboom.
Yeah, a lot of people make the confusion for some reason.
Alright, we're going over again.
Yes.
Yes.
That's up to you, really, isn't it?
Also, we should probably move back a bit so they have like room to freaking jump. So I'm just gonna come back in here.
That's unless you
Yeah,
want to try and
same
catch him.
I think maybe a stronger person should try and catch him. Like, I don't know, the two standing in front.
Or
I don't know. You seem quite emotionally strong.
that's so adorable.
A little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. That's questionable. Do you have any what's it left? Do you have any animal shapes left? Like, could you turn into a giant jungle cat and jump across? To at least maybe give you advantage, maybe? Question mark?
Or actually, a giant constrictor, you could just do the rope thing.
Please tell me you still have an animal shape left.
Can they touch the chains? Can they just sort of grab hold of one over to the other and then over to the other?
You could try that.
I mean, Philip can still hold the rope and let you cross it as such.
It's not that difficult to jump down.
Yes, but then there's the case of getting back up.
Well, it's jumping down to the lower platform.
So Philip will say yes to Theodas's question, and will actually tie up the rope around his waist and ask Torin to hold on tight in case he misses the jump with the extra weight.
Theodas will flick the coin in the timer rust coin he has.
Okay.
Just for checking.
Just
For checking
for
purposes.
reasons.
Right,
Philippe,
Philippe, you go.
make me an acrobatics check.
Okay, so for the record, Philip got the rope tied up around his waist in case he missed. Torin, are you holding up?
I am holding onto rope.
Okay,
I'm making
acrobatics.
sure I'm next to it and making sure the rope is on.
11, what does it do?
Philippe, you leap out
Mm-hmm.
and jump down. And can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
It's like
Yes,
basically
I
like a
can.
cat, just like jump halfway and then just drop down.
Thank God I got I actually took precautions.
You just slam into the rock in front of
I had Bardic Inspiration?
you do.
Yes.
Oh. If I used it on acrobatics, would I have succeeded? With the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I use it with the 15 on acrobatics.
You got to roll.
You got to roll for it though.
Roll.
It's a 1d6
D8.
question mark? Oh,
1d8?
D8. Oh, D8.
Oh yes, right.
I think it's a D8 by now. Let me double
Oh
check.
yeah, I don't know why I thought
I should hope it's a D8 by now.
oh, it's a 16 acrobatics.
It should make it.
Yeah, it is a D8 by now. Next level, it becomes a D10.
Ooh,
I remember
nice.
somehow the Seraphine saying, "Hi, Simon is not dead," and it's inspiring, and I just
Yep. You leap. And you just get this weird image of just completely face planting into the ground, like as you're halfway across. And then you're like, but Simon's not dead. And you just bring your feet up and you just land. And it's not an easy landing, it's not a particularly comfortable landing, but you're across and you're safe and you're not falling into the doom of the vortex but down below.
But you have done the splits.
Yes.
And both you and Theodas are safely across.
well, Philip is flexible. It's not the first time he's doing the split.
And sort of just
When you're not prepared for it.
Everyone's on the Romad.
Oh, God.
Well, given the way we arrive, I'm pretty sure we would actually damage it if we were to arrive on the map.
We dropkick Romad into the wall.
How fucking dare you, motherfucker!
So,
I'm
That would actually remind me, like, give me an actual, like, you actually drop kick romance. Come on, I gotta know. I need to know what your strength is. If
Why
you do
did I
drop
stay
kick
for
him.
the ledge?
I can just imagine it. Theodas like we're diving onto Roman like incoming.
Romat actually frozen and being like, "Why did I stay here again?"
See, this is why Seraphine moved, because she knew you guys were coming back.
What would you guys like to do now?
I actually want to know. I actually want Theodas to actually roll a strength to see if he actually does drop kick.
That would be Philippe, not me, because I'm on Philippe's back.
Drop kick. Drop kick.
Philippe, make a strength check.
Strength check, okay.
That would hit.
That would hit.
So that would have been 4 points of damage.
Too bad.
And you would have fallen in the pit.
And you cannot too, because I'm suddenly raging for no reason.
Falling!
Oh god. Yeah, that will full on drop kick.
I mean, Theodas would have done that, and Roman would have gone through the wall. Boom, 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 boom.
I think Philip actually land and hit Romans in the leg, you know. Then Theodas get down Philip by spinning a bit and actually by doing so without purpose.
I'm all concerned that you might be just goddamn horse. Sucks.
On the Roman side, that would be like, fucking my leg. God damn it.
Pretty much. Oh, why were you always doing to me? You fucking assholes.
So the obvious next place to go is down the stairs. However, actually, what type of day are we getting to now?
You're getting pretty worn out by this
I was
point.
gonna say, should we chill, have a long rest in the hallway, and then hit this place first thing in the morning? I say morning lightly because we don't know exactly what time is right now.
We've just gotten through all those closets, and we've fought a bunch of weird mechanical things.
We'd probably all need spells and stuff back, so... Everyone choose
Also,
a corner.
if we get a long rest, I finally have 3rd level spells.
Well then, everyone choose a part of the wall, and let's sleep, and then we can...
You just kind of brush away the decayed remnants of leather and armor from people who weren't so lucky in this corridor.
People couldn't drop the coat in the corridor.
They did not worship Timora.
Is anyone taking a watch throughout this night?
I'll take
No, we were in this dangerous tomb, it'll be fine. Of course we fucking are.
Who is taking the first watch?
Philip will be ready to take the first watch if someone else wants to join. They're welcome.
So Philippe and Riordan.
I take second watch.
I'll take a watch spot, whichever one anyone doesn't want to do.
I like to take a watch with Seraphine's words for her.
Well, then Torin and me, we go together, and Romad and Seraphine at the end.
Okay. So, Riordan and Philippe, you take the first watch.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to roll me... would one of you like to roll me perception, or would you like to give...
Nah, we take a watch, but we don't look, actually.
Would you both like to roll perception, or would one of you like to roll with advantage?
I got 6 of perception. How do you get?
I've got 6 as well. Shall we just both go for it?
Yeah, we both go on our eyes. On our own eyes. Fuck.
You're doing your best.
Okay. You get a few hours of reasonable peace with the swirling, constant storm sounds of the vortex in the next room, the dripping water and waves coming from the underground lake, and the persistent, not Has Riordan put some clothes on yet?
Yes, it was mentioned earlier that he put some trousers back on.
Yeah, you did say.
Cool. Inquiring half-orcs want to know.
Shut up. I'll report back.
Riordan, you can still hear every so often over the sound of everything else happening, this crying coming from down the stairs. Just a very soft. Has Riordan been around children much?
There have been occasions, yes. When he's helped out villages and such forth. Seen play and such.
This is... It makes you feel very uncomfortable. This is not normal crying.
It's special crying.
It's a witch.
This is...
Oh, fuck you. Don't say that.
It's... No, make me an insight check.
Yep, one moment. 11.
It's all you can tell is that this is not like something about this is throwing off. It's throwing off your cool. It's not sitting right with you.
I like the way you say it. Like I imagine Riordan being like, "I'm usually cool, but this."
It's throwing off your groove.
Not many.
I'm sorry, you've thrown off Robert's groove.
That thing, it scares me.
Would you and Philippe like to speak about anything throughout your watch?
I would make a mention about there's something down there.
Philip will actually listen. You could see a flaps a bit as he actually catch up on the sound, and he's like, "That's what is this crying? I mean, that's weird. I don't think I heard a crying like that before."
It is soft female crying.
It's a witch. No doubt about it.
Maybe we should show him robot sleeping to make sure it's harmless.
I just think that when it comes down to it, we should be keeping a sharp eye down this way.
So, first question, is the sound actually getting closer or staying in place?
No, it's staying...
I heard it earlier. It doesn't seem to have moved.
It's not moved. It is not constant. It's not like it's a... There is something making this noise, and obviously occasionally it needs to stop to do other things. Like eat
The
and
laundry?
sleep. But
There's no question. Would Safe know what that noise is?
he would just say that it's crying.
Fair enough.
He's not been in the right situations for this.
Okay. Either way, I best tell the others to keep an eye down there as well. Whatever it is comes up here, we might be in trouble. Have you got anything which you could put down? A trap of anything of our own kind, just in case?
I'm not sure I have any traps in
I've got some things which might be able to turn into a trap, but not really designed for it.
At the moment, maybe we should first listen to make sure it does not come closer, and then maybe later see if we can do something about this.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. We'll keep watching, just be ready. Unless you're gonna sort of sit at the top of the stairs, just staring down, but readying my fists in case.
You can just see darkness and...
And I don't think any of us is proficient in Arcana, something like that.
Anyway, I think there's nothing we should do right now. We all need a rest. Let's let them rest. Stop moving.
So too.
I think we should be fine. Don't you agree?
Yeah, suddenly...
I wouldn't put it past.
This is a tomb with a lot of tricks up its sleeve.
You guys don't know this because it's still the nighttime and you're all asleep, so
Yeah.
when you wake up and Riordan is still sat there, it's perfectly normal.
I mean, Philip isn't asleep.
Philippe could be perfectly normal too.
Theodas can hear. Because, meditation, not sleep.
Because elf.
Your watch, Riordan and Philippe, passes without further incident,
Good. I'm going to put in for a long rest.
and you can wake up Taurin and Theodas, who are going to take the next watch.
Okay.
Blarg.
Tears.
Mm,
5 more minutes.
Okay, that didn't... I tried doing a long rest on the D&D Beyond. It doesn't do the long rest on the other one.
It might not. You might need to do a long rest on both.
Yeah, I can't do a
I
long
did a
rest
long
on
rest
this one.
on
It won't
both, and
let
it
me.
didn't work on either. So
Yeah, it
excellent.
hasn't worked for the last.
literally, I
little
did it
while.
on D&D Beyond, and it reset my hit points to that which I was at last level.
Huh. Well, have a look at your D&D Beyond character sheet, because that's iffy.
I'm just going to do mine manually.
Yeah, just manually do it for now, and I'll try and hit the API and try and work out what the feck's happening with it. Taurin and Theodas,
Yes.
as Philippe and Riordan find a corner and huddle up to be ready for sleep, would you guys like to both roll, or would you like to give one of them advantage?
Probably best I give Theodas advantage.
yeah, plus 11.
I don't have dark vision or anything, so I'd have to roll a disadvantage.
Cool. Okay. You can hear the vortex rotating. You hear the sound of water just lapping against the edges of the cave.
I just mentioned Philip would have warned Teodas about the crying sounds.
Oh, he
And-
knows about it. He heard it about it already before.
Obvious reasons.
And you hear the continuation of the crying sounds.
Fucking hate that crying.
How much has Theodas? Theodas has a lot of younger brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Give me an insight check.
Advantage or normal?
Just normal. But the DC is a little bit easier.
14.
There are a lot of ways that people cry.
Mm-hmm.
And almost all of them are attention seeking. Something is wrong and you need to come and deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of crying that there is nothing left to do. Desperation has set in. I don't even want this to be heard. I need to do something crying.
Loneliness crying, basically.
This is something is dreadfully wrong with the situation that this entity, this female, has found herself in, and they have no recourse left but to do this.
Theodas looks very much stressed and unsettled by this. I really, really don't like this crying.
I don't trust it.
Sounds like someone just desperate beyond any kind of sense or measure.
It's either someone's been dragged down here, or it's a trap. I don't know which it is, which is why I don't like it.
I'm inclined to believe of a trap, honestly, considering the nature of the entire tomb.
But as much as it pains me to hear crying like that, I am determined that we cannot do anything until we arrest it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going down there alone, that's for sure.
Good.